Hello everyone. In previous lecture, we have seen this K-map, how to draw K-map for 3 variable and 4 variable questions. But you know that we have a common format for all the 3 variables and 4 variable K-maps, right? Any 3 variable K-map you draw, the map is going to remain the same irrespective of the question needed. Similarly, the 4 variable K-map will have the same format, the same cell numbers, and the row and column variables. So, in this lecture, I'll try to solve some more problems on 3 variable. We've also seen about what is prime implicant, what is essential prime implicant. So in this lecture, we'll continue with the same. I'll give some more example questions and we'll list out all the prime and essential prime implicants of those questions. Okay. So let me take the example of a 3 variable K map, the function of 3 variables A, B, and C. And the equation is given as in minterm format or SOP format. The numbers are 0, 1, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so let's draw the 3 variable K map for this question. So you know that if you have 3 variables, it means there are 8 possible combinations. So 8 cell. Let me take A for the row and B and C for the column. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So B bar, C bar, B bar, C, B, C, D, C. The row it is 0 or 1. One variable, so only 2 possible values, A bar or A. Then the cell numbers. So now the next step, once you have drawn the K map, the next step is to place 1 in the cells whose numbers are mentioned in the question. So here you have 0, 1, then you have 5, 6, and 7. So the next step is to group them. Okay. So condition for grouping is always start with higher number group. So if you have 3 variables, the higher number is 2 power 3, that is 8 or octet. Octet means all the 8 cells will have 1 in them. In that case, the entire 8 cell can be grouped as one group and your output is going to be, your answer is going to be 1. Okay. But here you see there is no all ones in all the 8 cell. So this is not possible. The next higher number will be 2 power 2, which is nothing but 4 or a quad. That is, you should have 4 adjacent ones or 4 ones together next to each other. In that in the case, you can make a quad. But here in this question, there is no possibility for getting a quad as well. So next higher number will be power 1, that is, which is nothing but pair. Okay. So here if you see, you can pair the numbers. You can group them into a pair. So pairs are possible. And let me group it. Let's say to cover this one, there is only one possible way. I have to group it with cell number 1. Similarly, to cover the 6th cell, I have only one possible way, that is to combine it with cell number 7. Now there is only one cell that is left out, that is cell number 5. And I have 2 possible ways of covering it. Either I can group it with cell number 1 or I can group it with cell number 7. Okay, so these are the possible groupings I have got for this particular problem. Let me list out all these group equations. So first group if I take, that is 0, 1 group, then the value of that group will be, the row value is A bar. Now for the column, you have 2 columns covered by this group. Whichever is constant, only that should be kept. B bar is constant, no? In both the cases, both the columns, so that will be kept. C bar gets cancelled. Next, similarly, the group number 1 and 5. 1 and 5. Both the rows are covered, so A bar gets cancelled. Your column value will be B bar C. Next group is 5, 7, whose equation is going to be A, C. Okay. The last group is 6, 7, whose equation is A, B. You just retain the variable which is not changing. Okay. So these are the 4 groups you have, 4 possible groups, and all these 4 groups are called as prime implicants. Okay, four possible ways in which you can group the given numbers. Uh, that is their prime implicant. Now, out of these four prime implicants, which are essential, which is very much required. Okay, for that, I've told you the definition for essential prime implicant. Essential prime implicant is a group which has at least one cell which is unique to that group, and it cannot be combined with any other group in the map. So let me consider the first one, that is 0 comma 1. In 0 comma 1, you have one cell which is unique to this 0 comma 1 group, and this cell cannot be combined with any other group. Correct? So which means 0 comma 1 becomes essential because it has one cell which is only there in this group, which cannot be covered or combined with any other group. So this is essential. Next, we'll talk about 1 comma 5. So group number 1 comma 5, you have two cells. Both the cells have two options of grouping. Either this can be grouped with 0 or it can be grouped with cell number 5. So this is not essential. It has options. Similarly, the cell number 5 also has option. It can be grouped with 1 or it can be grouped with 7. Correct? So this is this group. 1 comma 5 is not essential. It is a prime implicant, but it is not essential. It has options. Next group is 5 comma 7. So 5 comma 7 also has option here, because cell number 5 and cell number 7, they are not unique. They can be combined with other groups. So this is also not essential. Coming to the last one, 6 comma 7. You see this group has one cell 6, which is unique to this and cannot be combined with any other. So 6 comma 7 group number becomes essential. Okay. So this is the list of prime implicant and essential prime implicant for the given question. Now, if I have to write the final equation for this, I have two possible solutions for this question. The first possible answer is I have A bar B bar plus AB. That is, the two essential prime implicants will be there in your solution. The third one, I have two different groups here, right? Either I can combine, sorry, either I can combine cell number 5 with 7 and write the answer, or I can combine cell number 5 with 1 and write the answer. So any one of the group is fine. Don't write both of them. One becomes waste. It's a redundant. Out of the two options, you keep one of them. Okay. So if I take group number 5 comma 7, then my answer will be plus AC. Or you can write one more solution for this. The first two terms will not change. Okay. Essential prime implicant will be there in all the answers. But only the third term in this case is changing because you have two options here. The first option is either you can take 5 comma 7, or the second option will be you can take 1 comma 5. So this answer is also correct. This is also correct. Whichever you write, you're going to get the marks for that. Okay. So not all of them will be writing the same answer. Some of them will make a group of 5 7. Some of them might take the group as 1 5. So obviously this term will be different for all of them. Okay, based upon which group you have considered. So this is how you can get multiple solutions in K-map. You don't have to expect common answers. You can get different solution in K-map based upon the type of the group that you consider. But make sure that you always start with a higher group. If there is a possibility of getting a quad somewhere, don't end up making it as two pairs. Okay, please group them as one quad itself so that you can reduce the number of variables in the output. Right? So we'll take another question for three variable K map and simplify it. This time I'll change the variables to, let's say, X, Y, Z instead of A, B, C. Summation F 2, 3, 6, and 7. See, when you're writing the K map, there is no changes in the cell numbers or the binary variable numbers, but please look at the input variable that is mentioned in the question. Okay, if they've given ABC, please write ABC. Your answer should be in terms of ABC. If they give you XYZ, please write your answers in terms of XYZ. Whatever variable is mentioned in the question, your solution should be with respect to that variable only. Okay. If they've given ABC, please don't write the answer in XYZ format. That will be wrong. Okay. So since in this question they've given XYZ, I've taken the variables in K-map also as XYZ variables only. So next is we'll write numbers inside that. So number 2, 3, 6, and 7. So now if you have to group, as I just mentioned, always start with higher group, higher number group. Octet is not possible. Octet usually will not be given in three variable K map. Octet means all cells are ones, which is not going to happen in your exam. Okay, they're not going to give you any octet questions for three variable. So the next number you have to look for is 4. You see if there are 4 ones together. If that is there, then please go for that. You please don't do this, okay? Don't pair like this. This is wrong because you have a possibility of grouping it into 4. So always start or look for higher number. Okay, so this will be one group, one quad. Since all ones are covered in this only, you don't need any other group here. You'll have only one solution, one term in the answer. Okay, and the equation for this is both the rows are covered, so x bar x gets cancelled. Whereas on the column side, z z bar gets cancelled. Your answer will be only y. So therefore, you will get f of x, y, z is equal to y. This is the solution. There is another way you can uh, see if at all you have a question where you have these 4 cells equal to 1, then please don't make a pair like this. You should remember that corners of the K-map can be made or grouped together. Okay, the corners of the K-map can be grouped together. So this becomes a quad. Okay, not pairs. So this is another way of grouping the corners in 3 variable K-map. So that's it about 3 variable K-map solution for SOP equations. Okay, so I hope you have understood how to list the prime implicants and the essential prime implicants for 3 variable K-maps. And please remember, any variable K-map you do, whether 3 or 4, you should always start the grouping with higher number group. Okay, then you have to go down to the lower number. Now, just in case you have a let's say 3 variable K-map where you have something like this. In this case, easily you can see this becomes a pair. Whereas for this cell number, there is no option for grouping, which means this becomes individual term. Okay, so pair was the highest option in this case, and next least option is single. You should remember how to write the equations for this. For this, the equation becomes both the rows are covered, so x bar gets cancelled. Your answer will be yz. Whereas for this one, the row value is x bar, column value is y bar, z bar. X bar, y bar, z bar will be the answer for the single. So remember, in three variable, if only one cell is covered, all the 3 variables will be there in the term. If 2 cells are covered, one variable will be eliminated. If you cover 4 cells, 2 variables can be eliminated. Okay. So if you make a single, no variables will be eliminated. If you make a pair, one variable can be eliminated. Like here you have all 3 variables x, y, and z. Here any one of them can be removed. Either you will have x and y terms, or y and z terms, or x and z term. If you make a quad, you will be able to remove or eliminate 2 variables, in which case your answer can be in terms of x or x bar, y or y bar, z or z bar. Only one variable answer will be there. And if at all you get to make a quad, make a octet, then you can eliminate all the 3 variables and your answer will be 1. That is, if you have a question like this where all of them can be grouped into one octet, then in that case, your final answer will be 1. Okay, so this is how the three variable K-map problems are solved. So next we'll go for the four variable K-map. So I'll take an example. F of A, comma B, comma C, comma D. Four variables are there. If you have four variables, 2 power 4, 16 combinations will be there, which means the numbers will be anywhere between 0 to 15. So sometimes what happens in the question, they'll not mention if it is ABC or ABCD or XYZ. So now the variable will not be given. They'll only give you equation like this. Looking at the numbers, you have to decide whether it is a three variable or four variable K-map. If it is three variable, the numbers will be only from 0 to 7. If it is four variable, numbers will be from 0 to 15. So looking at the numbers given inside this, you have to decide which variable K-map you're supposed to use to solve this. Okay. So coming back to this question, let me take the numbers as 0, 1. Randomly, I'm just taking some numbers, 12 and 15. So you have to remember in the previous class, I've told you how to draw the four variable K-map. 16 possible combinations. So you'll have 4 rows and 4 columns. So two variables for rows and columns. And this combination is going to be same as your three variable column values. Okay, gray code should be followed here. This will be C bar, D bar, C bar, D, C D, C D bar. It's A bar, B bar, A bar, B, A B, A B bar. And please remember how to number this. You can go back to the previous lecture and just check the numbering, how to draw the K-map for four variable. Okay. Next step is again put ones in the cell numbers mentioned in the question. 1, 4, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 15. So again, condition remains same. You should always start the grouping from higher number. That is, for a four variable K-map, the highest number will be 2 power 4, that is 16, which means all 16 cells should be 1. And again, that is not going to happen. That's a very rare case that might happen in the given question. So all 16 ones are, if all 16 cells are 1, then your answer is going to be 1. Okay. Since here in this question, you don't have the possibility of 16, we'll go to the next possibility, that is 8. 8 ones next to each other. That is also not possible in this question. The next one is 2 power 2, that is 4. You see if you can find any quad anywhere. You cannot take this as one quad, okay? Because they are not next to each other. If the ones were here, then you could have grouped it as quad. But this you cannot take as a quad, okay? They're supposed to be adjacent to each other or at the corners. So 4 is also not possible. The next option is having pair. So pairs are possible here. So let's start. Let me take, I'll start from here to cover this one, that is cell number 12. This pair is essential because I don't have any other option for 12. I cannot combine it with 15 and make a pair, okay? They are not adjacent next to each other. So to cover 12, grouping it with cell number 4 is essential. Let me write down the equation for this. 4, 12 group. The equation is B, C bar, D bar. From the row side, B is fixed. From the column, I have only one column, so C bar, D bar. Okay. Next, let me come to this cell number. The cell number 9 has only one option, that is to be paired with cell number 11. Cell number 9 cannot be grouped with anything else. Okay. Cell number 9, 11. And the equation for that will be only one row, AB bar, whereas in the column, I have two columns where D is constant or common in both the columns. Next, coming to the cell number 7, if I see, cell number 7 also has only one choice, that is to be grouped with 15. It does not have any other variable to be grouped with. So cell numbers 7 and 15 will be a pair. And the equation for that will be B, C, D. Okay. Now we have only two ones left. You have a choice. Okay, 1 second. You have a choice. You can group them like this. You can make a group like this. You can cover cell number 0, combine cell number 0 with 4 and cell number 1 with 9. You can do this. You also have an option here of covering 11 and 15, right? But out of all these options, I would say important, let me just change this. I'll cover these two, 0 and 1. I'll tell you why I am taking only this option and I'm not going for 0, 4 or 1, 9. Okay, so these are the possible groups I've done. And I told you this is also possible. This is also an option and this is also an option for you. Okay, but I'm going to avoid these three orange ones. The reason is, you see, I made this group 0, comma 1, right? So I'll take the 0, comma 1. The answer for that will be A bar, B bar, and C bar. Instead of grouping 0 with 4 and 1 with 9, I prefer 0 with 1, this group. The reason is, if they can be covered separately, I don't have to overlap with something which is already covered. I'm not choosing 0 with 4 because 4 has already been covered with 12 and 9 has already been covered with 11. So why do I have to overlap this when I can actually separately cover 0 and 1, right? So I don't need this 0, 4 group or 1, 9 group. It is a prime implicant. It is a possible way of grouping, but it is not required here. I don't have to repeatedly cover the ones which is already covered in some other group. Okay, it is not necessary. If this 0 didn't have any other option, then this is needed. You can overlap. But here 0 and 1 can be separately paired, right? So I don't have to group them with something which is already covered. So the 0, 4 group and 1, 9 group, though they are prime implicants, though they are a possible way of grouping, they are not required here. Okay. Similarly here, the group 15 and 11, 15, comma 11, both these ones are already covered in a separate group. So I don't have to group these ones which are already covered. Okay, that becomes a redundant, a waste variable or waste term in the answer. Okay, so if your group has ones which are already there in some other group, then this group becomes redundant. Okay, so please don't group the ones which are already done until and unless it is necessary, you don't group or overlap the groups. Okay, so these four becomes your final solution. F is equal to B C bar D bar plus A B bar D plus B C D plus A bar B bar C bar. Okay, so this will be the final answer for the given question. And as you can see, uh, out of these four groups which I have drawn or written here, 4, 12, 9, 11, 7, 15. These three are essential prime implicants. The reason is 4, 12, the cell number 12 is unique to this group, which cannot be covered in any other way. And in 9, 11, um, okay, sorry. 9, 4 and 4, 12 is essential because the cell number 12 cannot be covered in any other way. Similarly, 7, 15, the 7, cell number 7 is unique to this, which cannot be covered with any other group. So this is also essential. But 0, 1 and 9, 11 are not essential. The reason is both 9 and 11 cell numbers have options. They can be either covered with 15, 11 can be covered with 15 or with 9. Similarly, 9 can be covered with 11 or 1, right? This has option. Though I didn't take this orange group, I did have an option there, right? So 9 and 11 will not be essential. Similarly, 0 and 1 also have other options. So they are also not essential group. They are just prime implicants. They are not essential prime implicants. Okay. So your final answer should have all the ones covered. All ones in the given map should be covered in very efficient, optimal way. That solution should be written here. Whereas if they ask you to list the prime and essential prime, this will be your answer. All four of them are prime implicants. Out of the four, only two of them are essential prime implicant. Okay. So it doesn't mean that 412 and 01 are not, 412 and 715 are not prime. They are prime. They are essential prime. Okay. All four of them are prime, but out of the four, only two are essential prime implicants. Okay. So this is how we solve the four variable schema. Let us take one more example to understand it more clearly. So I'll change the variable now. Instead of ABCD, I'll take W, X, Y, and Z. Summation M 0, 1, 2, 5, 10, 12, 14, 15. Okay. So let's draw the K map for this four variable K map. So the question is, first you have to list out all the essential and prime and essential prime implicants, and then you should also give the solution for this. Since I've given the variables as wxyz, you please write it in terms of wxyz only and don't change it to abcd. Y bar, Z bar, Y bar, Z, YZ, YZ bar. Similarly here, X bar, W bar, X bar, W bar, X, WX, WX bar. So let's put the numbers now. 0, 1, 2, 5, 10, 12, 14, and 15. So while grouping, as I've told, please start with the higher number. And for this case, the higher number is going to be from 16. As I told you, 16 is not possible anywhere. Then comes 8. Again, you don't have any 8 cells that can be grouped together with ones. Then after 8, it is 4. You don't have a quad also here. Even if I look at the corners, there is one here, one, one, but there is no one in this corner. So I cannot make a quad for that also. So next option is pair. So when you're starting to make a pair, let's start maybe with this number now, the cell number 12. Cell number 12 can be paired with the corner value. And this is the only way in which it can be paired. So let me say that number is 12, 14. Okay. Because cell number 12 does not have any other option. You cannot pair it with 0. They are not next to each other. Okay. They need to be next to each other or at the edges or corners of the map. So 2, 14, the equation is going to be Wx on the row. And for column, first column and last column, the fixed value is Z1. Okay. Next possible pairing, maybe I can go with 15. This 15 can be combined only with 14. There is no other option for 15 here. So 15, 14, and the solution for that will be Wx with Y. Okay. And the next number, let's say 5. Again, 5 has only one option, that is with 1. So 1, 5. I don't have any other adjacent one for 5. So this is the only group where 5 can be covered. And the equation for this from row side is W bar, and for column it is Y bar set. Now I have 3 more ones to be covered. Now you have a choice. You have multiple options here. I can pair 0 with this cell number 1 or 0 with cell number 2. Whichever you want, you can take. I'll just go with this group 0, 1. And the equation will be W bar, X bar, Y bar. See, it's very much correct even if you group 0 with 2. Only thing is this value will be different for you. Okay. So if you take 0, 2 instead of 0, 1, then your answer is going to be W bar, X bar, Z bar. Instead of Y bar, you're getting Z bar here. Okay. So either this group or this group, you have the choice. Okay. Similarly, for the cell number 10, I can either group it with cell number 2, corner, or I can group with 14. So since in this case, since I didn't take 2 for 0, I will take 2 for 10. I'll group them. Okay, because I don't want to overlap with 14 and leave this alone. Okay, so I will just take the group number 10 comma 2. Then the equation is going to be x bar y z bar. If at all I take 10 comma 14, then the equation becomes w y z. Okay, so you have the choice. Either you can group with 2 and 10, or you can group it as 14 and 10. But make sure that all the ones are covered and there is no redundant term. You're not grouping ones such a way that you're not grouping such ones which are already covered. Okay, any group you take, they should have at least one unique number in them. Or else it should just not overlap with others and it shouldn't be a waste term. Okay, so your final answer now will have these three terms for sure because they are essential prime implicants. In these three, you have one cell which cannot be covered in any other group. So they are essential. Now, out of the other two, you have options. Either you can write the answer as y bar, or instead of this term, you can write w bar, x bar, z bar. Less. Another option is you can write x bar, y bar, z bar, or you can write w by z bar. So you have options here in your solution. Either you might write the answer as w bar x bar y bar plus x bar y z bar, or w bar x bar y bar plus w y z bar, or your answer can be w bar x bar z bar plus x bar y z bar, or w bar x bar z bar plus w y z bar. Four combinations are possible, no? Because you have two solutions here. But these three terms will be there in all the solutions. Okay, these three terms plus combination of these. Okay, so based upon which what type of group you have taken. Now, if I ignore these two groups and only take this, then my solution will have these five terms. If I ignore these two groups and take this, my solution will have these five terms. Correct? So that way, based upon which group you have taken, your solution might change. You will not have unique solution for this problem. But remember, these three terms will be there in all your answers. Whether you take these two, or any other combination, the first three terms are essential and they will be there in your solution. All of them in the class will have these three terms in their answer. But the remaining two terms can be the combination of these four results. Okay. So this is the four variable K map. Let's just take one last question, one last example of this. That will end this lecture. 5, 6, okay, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now, in case if in the question they've not mentioned any variable like A, B, C, D, W, X, Y, Z, then it is your choice. You can choose any variable and you can solve the problem. Okay, but if they have given the variables, please use those variables itself to write your output equation. A bar, B bar, A bar, A B, A B. So now let's enter the ones for the numbers 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So start with higher number group. 16, no. Next 8. If you see any 8 cells equal to 1, then go for it. There is you do have a octet in this question. So you can group this 8 cells into one octet. And the output for this is going to be, you have two rows, B, B bar gets cancelled, so only A. Since it is covering all the columns, none of the variable from the column will be appearing in the output. So answer will be only A. Okay. Next, I have four more ones to cover here. If I look at these two ones, at first look, you will see that they are going to form a pair. But look closely. I told you that the corners the corners of the map can be grouped together, right? Rows wise as well as column wise. So I can make this four numbers as a quad. Okay, so this becomes a quad, the next highest option that you have. And the answer for this, the equation for this is going to be B bar C, right? You have two more ones to cover. You can group them as a pair in the corner, or you can also group them as a quad. And which is the best option? Always quad. Go for higher number. Okay. Don't go for pair when you have the choice of getting a quad. So the last one is going to be B and D bar. Okay. So you had option to do a octet in this and two quads in this question. So your final answer is going to be A plus BD bar plus B bar C. Okay, so this will be the solution. I hope I've covered all the ones here. Have one octet, one quad, two quads. So two parts and one octet, and the answer is this, right? So this is how we can solve the 3 and 4 variable K-map for SOP equations. Till now what you've done is sum of products, sum of product terms. Okay, this is SOP. Now one last thing. Till now, we have seen the equations where they had given you the equation or the question in terms of min term. The numbers were directly mentioned. But if at all they give you a problem where instead of giving the min term notation, they will give you equation like this. Then how do you solve it using K-map? So you in the previous videos you might have seen where I have explained about how to convert any given equation into standard canonical form or min-term notation form, right? That is by adding missing terms, you have to convert it into standard form, then write the binary notation. From that, you write the decimal value, min-term values. Then you can solve it using K-map. So I'll just quickly explain this how to do it. Just a revise kind of thing. So here you have three variables are mentioned, which means there is one variable missing in the first term, C. So I'll write A bar B as it is and include the missing term like this. Whereas in the second term, there is no missing term. All the three variables are there. In the third, there are two missing terms, B as well as C. So I should include it. Okay. Now open bracket and multiply. So here you have these terms plus AB plus AB bar, then multiply with C plus C bar. So I'll get A bar BC plus A bar BC bar, A bar BC bar plus ABC plus ABC bar plus AB bar C plus AB bar C bar. So A bar BC plus A bar BC bar. You see these two terms are repeated. So I can write only once instead of repeating the terms again. I can eliminate the repetition here. Plus next term ABC plus ABC bar plus AB bar C plus AB bar C bar. So you have the standard form now. Now we have to convert this into binary format. If you have a complemented variable, it as 0. Uncomplemented should be written as ones. For this, it is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. This will be 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Convert the binary to decimal. 0, 1, 1 is 3, 2, this is 7, 6, 5, and 4. So finally, you can write the given equation now in standard form as summation m. Write it in order, okay? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These numbers only I have written in the proper ascending order. So once you get this equation, now the next step is same as what you have done for the other problems. Solve it using K-map. Okay. So same way you can do for 4 variable also, where if 4 variable equation is given, include the missing terms in the same format, convert it to standard form, write the binary and decimal notation, and then you can convert it into min-term notation and solve it using K-map. Okay, that's it for today's lecture. We'll continue with the K-map simplification for SOP with the don't care conditions in the next video. Thank you.